Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Podcast. I'm your host, Mirage, and I'm joined by my co-host, Burner, as usual. And this time around, we're going to be talking about
Wee.
Wii stuff. Yep, but we're specifically going to be talking about Wii pre-installed content inside of the Wii.
And
Not,
also, like, all bunch of others. Basically, we're just talking about the Wii today.
yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what can be said about the Wii that hasn't already been said, aside from the fact that it caused a bunch of elderly people to realize, you know what, video games aren't just Space Invaders. I want to make the funny man do bowling. But, I guess that's just to be expected. I mean, it is one of the most popular gaming consoles of all time, and of course, it came with a cavalcade of goodies that we have decided to wrap into.
Is the second most popular console to date, next to the Switch right now, I think.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm not.
Because the Switch recently outsold it.
Yeah, so
But either way, the Wii was a pretty cool console.
oh,
Um,
definitely, it certainly gave way to a lot of experiences that wouldn't be had otherwise. I mean, some of my favorite games originated on the Wii, like Mario Galaxy for one. But we're not here to talk about Wii games in particular. We're here to talk about other stuff with the Wii, stuff like me. We included software, a couple of other things too.
any
Basically,
pre-installed content that you can think of that's already on the Wii when you first get it.
and also some things that you could have downloaded but can't because the Wii shop is now dead. But you know, but we're gonna be going over.
Defunct.
We're just gonna go over them anyway because we have some memories with them. So let's not waste any time and go into one of the main features of the Wii, Mii's, and how they were used and a bunch of stuff.
Along with the fact that they had a huge impact on people in general.
Uh huh. Aside from the fact that Miitopia just came out on the Switch and it so far it's been a great time. I love the game to death. I recently,
Oh yeah, how could I forget?
but but they also had like a lot of other games too. Like they were customizable little avatars that you can make however you want, and they were used in games, and you could also enter them in contests. But we'll cover that in like just a minute. But you want to know what
Yeah.
what game that you can use your Mii's in? I'll tell you, the packing game, Wii Sports.
Yep. Wii Sports.
Wii Sports is the game that both me and Mirage agree that should have been on the console from the start and not been a disc. Or
Yeah. Like Wii Sports is that kind of game that you expect to be pre-installed on the console to begin with because of the fact that it's already packaged with the Wii. And in some cases, Wii Sports Resort is also packaged with the Wii. My Wii came with both Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. Actually, the black one I have.
yeah,
Um, Fun fact: I actually started out with a white one. Then I got a black one because the white one broke, and then my brother got the clever idea to fix it, quote unquote. He didn't really fix it. In fact, if anything, he just made it worse. But he tried, I guess. um, but so he did that.
yeah.
Um, but we ended up getting a black Wii to compensate, and I ended up getting both again, Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort. And despite the fact that they are, games that are packaged in with the Wii, they're really fun.
They're pretty simplistic when it comes to the thing, as after all, they're pretty much tech demos for the respective peripherals. For the Wii, that would be for Wii Sports, it'd be the motion controls, and for Resort, it'd be the Motion Plus. But it doesn't change the fact that they're just as important to the Wii's roster as anything. I mean, it had a game, it had like virtual replica, it had replications of games that would not have worked on other consoles like bowling and swordplay. Wii Sports and Resort, as simplistic as they are, probably are some of the most impactful games on the console. And I say this in earnest, especially considering that Mario Galaxy is also on that console, and so is games like Brawl. But you know, Wii Sports, these games are important. and I'm happy. And I really think Nintendo was wise to give them a great game to package in with this console, and even
Yeah,
later, and later revisions come with Wii Sports Resort and or as well, and gives you the Wii Motion Plus for free. So you get two games right off the bat, and both of them are good. So hey, that's great.
very good. And for me personally, the most um like impactful and memorable sports packed within Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort is probably boxing.
Yeah, it was the
Boxing I used to play a lot. I played boxing, bowling, tennis, um, I guess basically everything except golf, because
yeah
golf is a boring sport.
yeah. Boxing was the original place that started the meme of Matt from Wii Sports being a literal god at everything. So
Oh yeah, it wasn't just boxing though. Matt also appeared in like training and stuff for just about everything as well, which is why you know in games like Friday Night Funkin', he's actually like the songs are related to training and stuff. But we're not here to talk about Friday Night Funkin'. We're here to talk about the Wii the Wii's pre-installed content.
yeah, we went off on a little bit of a tangent here, but yeah, Wii Sports Resort and the original good stuff. I'll cover them in my own episode. Plug. But let's change our gears a little bit so that we can talk about something else. Let's talk about the other things that came with the Wii, stuff like the photo channel, the forecast channel, and the news channel, which
Oh yeah,
are which two of them are unavailable now because Wii Connect 24 is dead. But we can at least go over at least a little bit. So
yeah.
the forecast channel and the news channel are pretty much one and the same. Forecast channel
They're
tells you the
also
weather.
incredibly self-explanatory too.
Yeah, one gives you the weather, one tells you about the news. There you go.
Basically.
Photo channel though is a bit more interesting. If you have an SD card slot, you can insert it into your Wii, and then you can mess with your photos. And fun fact, in the game's fun option, there is a mode that is very similar to Mario Paint on the Super Nintendo. Like it has the rocket and everything. It doesn't have the undo dog or any of the stamps, but or any of the classic Mario stamps, but it's pretty much a Wii version of Mario Paint. That's really cool.
Huh. I actually don't remember that because even I played around with the photo channel a little bit. And I don't even remember that
And
now that you mention it.
and there's also other options too. Like you can make your photos have fun effects, and you can even do a puzzle with them. So that's pretty fun.
Those I remember.
Yeah.
But I
But
don't remember the whole rocket bit.
and with the Mario Paint, yeah, the rocket was just
Yeah.
pretty much the reset. But it's whatever. But
I'll take that back. Actually, I think I might remember the rocket, but I don't remember the whole Mario Paint bit. That's what I meant to say.
yeah, the fun option for the drawing is essentially Mario Paint,
Yeah.
which is really cool. I like that. And
That's neat.
but let's go ahead and get into the main meat of this episode and talk about other Wii channels, which are accessible through a service that has probably one of the most iconic Nintendo themes in history, the Wii Shop channel.
Yep. Which gives you access to things like WiiWare, the Virtual Console, all sorts of stuff.
I have a feeling that we're going to be covering the Wii Shop channel in its own episode, at least at some point, because there's a lot to go over in that thing.
Oh, absolutely. But that doesn't mean we can't cover a bit of things from the Wii Shop channel, though.
More specifically, we're going to be covering some of the extra channels that you could have downloaded for free or provided by Nintendo themselves. Those being
Yeah.
Check Me Out, Everybody Votes, the Nintendo channel, and the Internet channel. The Internet channel is pretty self-explanatory.
Again, self-explanatory. Gives you access to the internet. Wow, what a surprise.
The Check Me Out channel was more interesting though. It offered you a chance to download others' Miis that they have created online. So if you have a cool looking Mii that you think is cool, hey, you can download that to your Wii console. And now you can play them in Wii Sports. Wow.
and you can keep it.
Yeah, you can keep it however you want. And he also hosted contests, so that's pretty fun.
And you can take a good look at the Mii so that on the off chance you wanted to replicate it with, the Mii channel, you could.
Yeah, so all in all, check me out channel. Pretty cool. Everybody Votes channel is kind of bland though. It's pretty much just like polls.
I don't even remember Check Me, or I don't even remember Everybody Votes.
I mean, it was kind of generic. If had it not been for the fact that it was the name was kind of weird, it would have been pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it would have been.
That one's kind of a dud, but the last channel that we're going to be going over before we get into some interesting bits is the Nintendo channel, and this is one that I have memories with a lot. So, if you don't know what the Nintendo channel is, which, yeah, that's kind of surprise would make a lot of sense. The Nintendo channel was a service offered by Nintendo themselves, which let you watch videos for trailers of upcoming games. You could download demos to your DS through the Download Play service. And Nintendo themselves even hosted their own weekly segment on the channel called Nintendo Week. I remember watching that a lot. It was how I got introduced to Pokemon Black and White and the TSI. I just thought it was cool that Nintendo themselves hosted their own internet show way back during the Wii days, and it didn't feel pandering at all. It didn't feel like, oh hey, we're cool gamers. No, it truly felt like, they had a lot of charm and they had a lot of personality. In fact, they cu- this thing lasted until, like, I believe until the 3DS came out. So
Wow. So it was basically like a what is it? Like a Nintendo Direct before Nintendo Direct actually became a thing.
no, it was, well, kind of. There were two hosts, and they would talk about some upcoming games and a bunch of other stuff too. And they talked about things like the DSIs, like some games that are coming out for the Wii and DS, and then the 3DS as well. Like, and that was actually how I got introduced to the 3DS. So if it not weren't for Nintendo Week, I probably would not have been a 3DS owner as soon as I was.
Yeah,
So that,
but
yeah,
so it is kind of like Nintendo Direct.
I'm sure someone has all the episodes archived on YouTube. So if if you
Oh
can
wow.
find them, they were pretty fun to watch. They're nice and nostalgic
Yeah.
memories for me, and I truly appreciate stuff like that. And the other stuff in the Nintendo
Huh.
Channel too. I have a lot of good memories with that thing. I love it.
Yeah,
But
I had some pretty good memories with that as well. But anyways,
let's go over some other stuff. Now, depending on which region of the world that you're living in, you would have access to different channels. In America, well, you got the bare essentials, but in Europe and Australia, you got a couple of other options. In Europe specifically, you could get the thing called the BBC Media Player, which I believe lets you watch TV shows from BBC. I guess
yeah, it's not really that interesting.
what is kind of interesting, though, in Europe and Australia exclusively, is the Kirby TV channel.
Kirby TV channel. That's one. That's something I never heard of before.
So, get this. Y'all remember Kirby Right Back At Ya, right? The TV show that ran
Yep.
on 4Kids and the Foxbox?
Yep.
That was the main thing that they had. In Europe and Australia, every week, Kirby Right Back At You episodes would be streamed to your Wii, and that was how you could watch them on that thing.
Oh, that's cool. I probably would have preferred that than just getting the bare essentials.
Yeah, I would have loved to watch Kirby Right Back At You on my Wii. That would have been cool.
That would have been great to just include for like the people who got a Wii in the US.
Yeah, I don't understand why it never came to America, but hey, I guess it makes sense. Australia didn't get Mario Super Sluggers, so
Yeah,
payback.
I guess.
Anywho, yeah, that's just sort of some cool things. And there's also some Japan exclusive channels. Like
Yep.
you could order food on your Wii.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, you know,
I actually remember seeing that somewhere. You can order food on your Wii. That is pretty interesting.
yeah, and there's also a Japan only TV guide just to sort of hammer down the fact that hey, the Wii has channels. It's technically like TV, so
Yeah.
I
Pretty
just think it's neat. But the main one I want to go over is Wii Room, which I think has not only the TV channels but also has some like extra features too. I don't know everything about it aside from the fact that it does have some TV related stuff, but efforts are being made in the modding community right now to have a translated version, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, wow. That sounds really interesting.
Oh,
Huh.
did I let it slip for mods? Oh yeah, I went ahead and let it slip. Let's go ahead and talk about homebrew as pretty much one of the last things that we can cover.
Oh,
So
right. Yeah, homebrew. That I did forget about that. Homebrew's interesting. Homebrew is a channel that you can get through hacking your Wii. And with Homebrew, you can essentially put just about any kind of game on your Wii, even games that aren't even normally included on the thing or made for it. Like, for instance, you can quite literally get a game like Sonic Robo Blast 2 to work on your Wii.
mm-hmm.
And there's an actual port of Sonic Robo Blast 2 made specifically for the Wii. And a bunch of other games, too.
Oh
With
yeah.
Homebrew, you can also hack in stuff from, WiiWare, so you can get a bunch of WiiWare titles that you wouldn't normally be able to get if you didn't hack your Wii. You can get virtual console stuff, all sorts of things.
And
It's pretty neat.
you can even customize like the menu themes. Like I, one thing I've been doing very recently is looking at hacked Wii's because like they're all so different and so unique, and it's really really cool just seeing all the different colors and the different themes. Like if I can get Dolphin to run eventually, I want to see if I can try and do something like that. That is super cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that you can get on there.
Plus, it's pretty much one of the only ways that you can get modded versions of certain games. Mario Kart Wii Custom Track Grand Prix Revolution is probably one of the best ways to play Mario Kart Wii, according to the mass majority of people who still play that game. You get a bunch of custom tracks that are included. You can have add in custom music, and of course, with a service called Reconnect 24, you can connect your Wii back to Connect 24, and you can play online again.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
The modding community for the Wii is absolutely bonkers, and it is so cool to see. Just like this console deserved a lot, and it really sucks that it died so soon after the Wii U came out. So
Yeah, it is a shame. But the Wii did last for a good I don't know, roughly 9 to 10 years, I believe.
yeah, so that's pretty impressive. And
So
like,
unfortunately, it only lasted as long as it could, or the time that it was given, and
but
that was again 10 years before they decided to shut it all down, which sucks. But whatever, I guess.
that's why we have the modding community, and we can do whatever the crud we want, because Wii's are pretty are two console generations behind. So who cares at this point?
Yeah,
It's super cool what everybody has been able to do with homebrew stuff. And
you can essentially mod the tar out of it to get all of your stuff back.
yeah, and fun fact, if you didn't already know, Wii menu types are WADs.
Wait, there what?
WADs, like for Doom.
Wow, that's intriguing.
I found that out. But yeah, because like the
There,
Wii menu is .wad, so
wow.
that's pretty cool. I like to say I've been watching again. I've been watching a lot of Wii menu videos, and it's a .wad download. So I guess
Ah,
the Wii menu runs on WADs.
maybe. Although, for all we know, it could be a different format too.
That's true.
Just because it's called WAD doesn't mean it's the exact same kind of format that like you use like. It's not the same exact format that you'd use for like Doom for character WADs or stage WADs. It does have the name though, but I don't think it necessarily means the same thing. But who knows? I
It
could be
might.
wrong on this.
We could be wrong, but hey, it's just really cool what everybody's been able to do, and I'd be happy to support Wii creators for the stuff that they do, because yeah, this stuff probably was not easy, but I'm really happy that
Oh,
things,
it very much wasn't.
and I'm happy that Reconnect 24 exists for those who still have their Wii's and wish to homebrew them so that they can play Mario Kart on Wii Online and Smash Brothers Brawl, tripping included. Oh, speaking of the devil, I believe, yes, we are a little short on time now, but we pretty much covered everything that we wanted to cover, I believe.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, yeah. So, with that said, thank you all for tuning into this episode. We're gonna be back with more pretty soon. Gonna be fun and all that jazz.
Until then, we'll catch you next time.
Farewell.